Hello everyone, it's Robin from My Conking Creations. The long-awaited tomato cage tree. I'm doing a gingerbread theme. I'm going to get ready to start it in a few minutes, so I'm just going to wait on here. I did boost this, so I'm hoping that I get a few other people. I will be going over the product that I'm using, where I got it, all my little extra things that I'm putting on it, where I got everything. So basically the decor you put on with it can be your own style, right? But I'm just going to wait a few minutes. I do have most of the petals done, made, not on the cage, but I do have a couple that I've left so that I will show you guys how I do it. You can do this however you want. You can do, like, cover this however you want. If you want to just wrap it around, or if you want to poof it, or do whatever you can, but I like doing the individual pieces. I just think it looks a lot nicer. And I always put a wreath base on the bottom of it. This is a 24, I believe it's a 24-inch, like a scotch pine wreath base. It really just makes a difference. It makes them a lot more stable. And you can put some, wires or something in the bottom and put like a cement block or something in it. But really, if you're putting it on a deck or whatever, especially outside if it's covered and you're kind of sheltered, with the wreath base on the bottom of it, it really stabilizes it. But you can't add weight to it. That's not an issue at all. So I'm just going to wait just a minute, and then we're going to get going. Oh my gosh, I came out to set up my lawn, and there was a garter snake slithering across my patio. Oh my god, I haven't seen a snake here, like, oh my god, I don't know how long. So I had to get my piece of wood I use for my poker at the fire pit and pick it up and knock it across the road. And he was not happy with me. He was trying to bite me, but I mean, you know, they're just little tiny garter snakes. They're not going to hurt you. But oh my gosh, I haven't seen a snake here. When we did the cottage, the old deck, it was, the one side was really wet because we didn't have eavesdrops on the cottage, and there was some snakes underneath the deck there, but I haven't seen any here in years, so I don't know where the heck he came from. But anyway, I'm excited to do this with you today. I also have some snowman heads that I had last year, the black and white buffalo, or the black and white farmhouse check. I found 2 heads in my stash when I was unpacking my winter stuff, so I'll be doing one of the snowman heads. They have a different top than this one. They have the hole inside that you can just kind of jam it down on the, you know, you bring your tomato cages up to the center, and then you can just jam it down, so it works well. So if and when you join, if you'd like to say hey, that would be awesome. And I'm going to I hope you guys can see okay. I wanted to do it where you could kind of see me and kind of see this, because it's kind of interactive. It's not going to take that long to put these on, so let's see if we've got one person on. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel after as well, and I'll have a screenshot of the face so you'll know that it's this particular video. And it will be on Facebook for 30 days if you wanted to download it and put it on your own, you know, put it in your own file or whatever. Okay, so we'll get started. What I did, I cut 2.5 rolls of this jute poly mesh. It's 10.5 by 10 yards. I got it from Craft Outlet, and the SKU is RY 800518, and I'll be putting all of this information on the YouTube channel as well, okay, so you know. The head of the gingerbread I got at Hobby Lobby. They were $16.99, but they're 50% off, and the SKU is 642133. So they're $16.99, so 17, so they're $8.50. So that works out really, really well. Now I did buy these. I did buy a garland of these bows, and they have them there as well at Hobby Lobby. They're $10.99, so they would be like 11, so $5.50. The skew on it is, oh, that's little, 642-5896. Or if you search Gingerbread Decor in Hobby Lobby, all this will come up. Yes, Violet, I use chicken wire. It's so much easier. Oh my goodness. Than putting the, you can put the chenilles on and make the grid pattern. But this makes it a little bit easier. It's hard on your hands. I did it 2 rows. I had like a 12-inch and then a wider one. So, and I have it all fastened on and everything. So, yeah. I did have some prep pictures as well before, which I will hopefully be able to add to the YouTube channel. As comments, the pictures. If not, those will be on my Facebook and they'll stay on forever. They're not video. I don't know if I'm going to use these on this particular thing. If I do, I might put them down at, just put them at the bottom randomly around. I got them more for if I did a gingerbread wreath. I thought those would be cute. Okay, so for the attachments, we need to have gloves. So I had this red and white. This is like a material. I think I got it, actually, you know what? I think I got it at the dollar store. It's like a really heavy canvasy jute, and it's red with the big white snowflakes on it. And because there's snowflakes, there's snowflakes on this thing that I made. I thought it would kind of bring it together. So I have a mitt cut out. You can just make one, cut it out. And I put 2 together, and then I stuffed it with a little bit of plastic, a plastic bag, and then I just put a skewer in. I always do my attachments with skewers. Then when you're placing them, you can just put the skewer in, you know, like however you want it, and then just zip tie the end of it and it's in there. You're not actually gluing anything to this. It's more fastened because these are going to get like a little bit of action, right? So once I get the mesh all on, I'll see how it looks. And I made 2 of them, so they're all made and ready to rock and roll. And then what I did, these little plastic round things, you can get these, I got these from Temu, but you can get them at any dollar store. They're like I got them originally to put on my outdoor pine trees for decorations. And so I took one of those, and I had one of these things I got at the at-home store last year. They're just a gingerbread, they're like a hard plasticky thing that's painted, and I glued it onto the front. And then I had some ribbon that was gingerbread. I got that at Hobby Lobby, and they still have it this year. When I was there the other day, I did see it, but I still have a couple of rolls of it, so I didn't buy any. And then I just had one of those steel rods from, you know, the attachments that you can buy at the dollar store, like the sunflower or frog or something. I just bought some of those just to have these poles. And I just put it in. You can kind of see it in there. I glued it in place, so it's really good. And then, see, I can just take this, push it through, and I can zip tie it in, and then here, you can't see. It'll stay in there. It'll be nice and sturdy. So again, that will be something that I do at the end to make sure. I probably will cut that end off as well. It's a little long. So the petal that I use for these, what does it say? Okay, so the petal that I use, I cut these 15 inches long, and I have 2.5 rolls. I don't know how much you're going to need. It all depends on how thick you put it. I always find at 15 inches, especially when it's kind of like a see-through-y type of mesh, it helps cover the wire better. Now, if you're using horizontal wide strip like I use for the snowman, you probably could get away with 13 inches. But this I cut at 15 inches, okay? So basically all I do is I just turn in my ends a little bit, and I'll roll that up. And then I'll roll this up. And then I'll put it together. And then I fold it in half. I don't know what this petal's called. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I'm a very bad crafter. I don't know the names of all these things. And then I just use a little elastic. And then it ends up looking something like this. Okay? So we'll do that again because I have 2 of them. So roll that. I always tuck the little ends in just because I don't want them to stick out, because they tend to fray a little bit, so they're kind of tucked in. I'm going to spray this all really good with a clear acrylic sealer too when I'm finished. Oh, come on, get there. Kind of try to make the ends a little bit as even as you can. And then you've got your little petal. Okay, so we're going to start putting them on. Now I'm only going to do the front because I don't want you to have to stick around and see the whole thing. So I'm just going to go side to side here so you'll be able to see it. Now what I'm doing this like how you do a wreath with petals. I'll take these out. I have this row started, and you can see this is underneath. It's in between the 2. I put these ones around, space them, and then put these ones inside of it so they cover up the hole. So you have a little bit of an organization when you come to putting your petals on. So see, I have this one here, so I'm going to come over to about here where this one is. I'm going to put it right beside it, but up a little bit. And having the chicken wire, you can put these anywhere because you're going to have the holes are everywhere. And then now these, when you do them, notice that there is a front and a back to this, because this is the back where the curls are that are going in. I always try to make sure that I remember to do it on the front. And then where your elastic is where your zip tie is going to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to come across down here. I probably didn't need to put this first row on because of the big green thing, but I like it to be nice and full at the bottom. That's where the most wear is going to be. So I've got these about 2.5 inches apart. You know, and it depends again on your petals and how much they cover. And we'll put this one up here. So there's the 2, so we're going to put it in between. And I'm right about this row here. And make sure we've got the front. It was funny because when I was in Hobby Lobby, I went in to look for that greenery for that wreath that I did, the greenery and the red bow. And I went down the aisle that had the gingerbread kids, which I had no business going down there because I had no intentions of buying any gingerbread stuff. And I saw that head, and I thought, oh my God, that is the cutest thing I have ever seen. And I didn't buy it right away. I went around and I went around and got the rest of my stuff from my my inside outside wreath. I'm still doing that one as well. I got a live, haven't scheduled the live yet for that, but I am doing that. And the old gingerbread guy was wearing on my brain, and I thought, I have to go back and buy him. I have to. He is so darn cute. So I already have a box, a mail order for Hobby Lobby. They won't ship over here in Canada, but I have a mailbox in Michigan, so I'm gonna order it because they still have them on order. I'm only gonna go to this wire here. I'm not gonna do all the back because I don't think you guys need to sit and watch me do the whole thing. I'm sure you have better things to do than, you'll get the drift of what it looks like, because the front is where everything is. So now I'm gonna, this one's working out that I can put it on the cage. You know, when you put your, oh wait, just a minute. When you put your wire on, you know, you want to make sure you have it zip tied on really good. You can see all the zip ties on this one. You want to make sure that you really attach it good because you don't want it to be bulky. Like, you don't want it to come out too much when you're working with it. And again, working it just like it's a wreath, going in between petals, one row and then the other. So this kind of gives you an idea of the bottom, how it's looking, okay? Yeah, I know, Kim, isn't he cute? And you know, I've got him fastened on here. Now, what I had mentioned, I'll just get this a little bit closer. The at-home heads didn't have that white thing. It's like a thing that goes over your tree. You could take that off, and then this is like a hard styrofoam, just like the heads that were the snowmen. And just take a knife and cut a hole up in there in the center of it, and then when you do your tomato cake, see these ones, I bent them down and made like little elbows at the top, and then this went over the top of it. You could take those and just bring them up to a point with a zip tie, and then just jam it on the head like we did the other ones. But I like this because it makes it kind of bobbly. So I thought, this is going to be really fun. This is going to be a different, it's going to be certainly a different type of tree from what we did before. Okay, so let's start over here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go up a row. So I got to see how far up I need to be. Right about there. This is where the two pieces of cage are coming together. So now let's see, where will I go on here? I was also a little bit worried I didn't have enough mash, but I think I will have. So I thought I'll just do the front, and then that way if I need to get more, I can get it. And there we go. So now we have this one, so we're going to be putting this guy right in the center of these two up here. And of course, as we get closer to the top, we need fewer to go around, right? And again, making sure that we're putting the front stake facing out of the petal so that you get the most amount of mesh showing. Don't want any holes. I just love these. I think they're the cutest thing. But they take a long time. Like I cut everything. I didn't use my wood burner or anything. I just cut it. But putting the petals together, that was a good hour and a bit. Folding the petals, so make sure that that's low enough. Like that. You can kind of get an idea how it's going. You know, I often find with these lives, the biggest thing is, you know, we all have our ideas of what we want to do, but sometimes, you know, when you're watching someone else, it's like, oh, I never even thought of that. we just keep working our way around. And it covers really well, like really well. I'm going to be watching for snakes now when I'm out here. I never even thought about snakes out here. I couldn't believe that. He was long too. I bet he was 2.5 feet long. Like, he was a long one. But he was just a garter snake, so. I mean, the good thing is that he eats all the pesky bugs and stuff, but I'm sure, I don't know if garter snakes eat mice. We don't really have any mice here because there's a huge feral cat population and raccoon. Of course, we're at the lake, so there's tons of raccoons. So, wait till I tell my girls that there was a snake here. Oh my God, they're going to have a fit. Perfect. Have any of you made one of these before? Have you guys made these before? They're not really popular here. I have sold a few, but they're not. The US girls love these a lot more than the Canadian girls. I wish I could sell to the US, but I can't anymore because of all the tariffs and everything. These, I did ship one of these once to Cleveland, or no, Cincinnati. To Cincinnati or to Cleveland? Maybe it was to Cleveland, yeah. And it turned out really, there we go. So we're getting up there. Okay, so we're going to come right here. Using the chicken wire is a whole lot easier than those grids with the, I found with the grid, using the mat, or with the chenilles, I had to add at the end, and I just find that I can fill it in nicely with the chicken wire. And it stabilizes it just a little. The wreath, the green wreath at the bottom really does a great job. So this mesh was about, oh gosh, how much was it? Was it $6 or something? $7. I got it at Craft Outlet. I will be putting the SKU on the YouTube page, like the product. Oh, that might need to come down a little bit. You can see how quickly it's going. Like once you have, once you have the petals done. I usually make them all first, and then I make all the petals first, and then it's just easier to do. I had my, this week on Wednesday, where I worked, the company that I worked for, and actually the branch I started at, I worked in a bank. The branch I started at had its 50th anniversary, and I started there in 1981. So I was there like at the pretty close to the beginning of it. And my hiring manager was there. He came, the guy who hired me for CWC. So I was pretty excited. We had a fun time. It was about 7 or 8 of us that were from the the old group that showed up for the open house. We had all been talking. We have a retirees website, so we were all talking that we're all going to try to get there at a certain time so we could all kind of reunite. It was really fun. It was so nice to see everybody. It was really nice. Do, 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 do. Put one down here, but that's okay. I can do that later. Try to get rid of those strings as I go because I hate them. Okay, so here we go. We're looking good. I'm just going to see if there's any more. Here we go. Okay. I did put this on, I boosted it, or whatever you do with these things, and I added it to the Canadian Wreath Makers and another wreath making site. So I don't know who's going to be on, but I'm hoping some of them come on from there. Oh, my box is getting close to empty. So maybe I'm going to need to have 3 of these. I'll have to order a couple more. I have this, I'm making this for my first Christmas sale, which is going to be October the 12th. Unless somebody wants to buy it before, but I doubt it. That doesn't normally happen. It's the bummer. The girls that live in the U.S., they're so close to everything. I know there are some people down in the South, they order from Craft Outlet. They can get it the same day. We have to wait, like I have to wait a week, and about a week. And then I have to go over the river to Port Huron to pick it up. I have a mailbox over there, which works out really well. But it costs, I think $5 to pick up, to get a box, but most of the time, when I'm picking up, I haven't paid delivery on, so. Brenda, at the beginning, I talked about, at the beginning of the video, I talked about the prep, and there is a post on my Facebook page showing the prep for the cage, pictures of putting the top on, and then putting on the stuff, and then at the beginning of the video, I started at the bottom. So basically, I showed all the attachments that I'm going to be putting on, and where I got everything, and how I folded the mesh, and that's all at the very beginning of the video. So if and when we're finished, if you just watch it from the beginning and go to my Facebook page, hit the follow button so that you'll get all my updates. You'll see the post where I was prepping the boards and all the up-close pictures of how I put everything on. It's really difficult to do something like this from start to finish on the video. It's just, these take about 3 hours to put together by the time you cut the fabric, prep everything, put the head on, get the cage on, cut the material, fold it, and then put it in. So I did go over everything like that. So if you check the very beginning of the video and check out that Facebook page. Now, in the meantime, if you look at all that and you say, I still don't get that, Robin, just pop me in the inbox and I'll go through it with you, okay? It's really quite basic, but you know what? If you've not done it before, it's a little confusing. But once you see the pictures, you'll know what I mean by putting the head and that on. It would be real difficult to do that in the video. I kind of showed how the process of I'm staggering these. So it's kind of like how we do a wreath. That's how I'm putting these petals on. So it makes it nice and easy for us. And there's pretty good coverage. And they're 10 by 15 inches long, the petals are cut. And this is a jute mesh from Craft Outlet. It's thicker than the jute mesh that you get at Hobby Lobby. So if you're using something that's really thin, you may want to go a little bit longer to make your petals a little bit thicker, only because you want to make sure that everything gets covered. So the longer your piece is, yeah, it's this page, honey, that My Conking Creations, this page that you're watching the video on. If you just go up and click follow on the page, then you'll get all the notices when I'm going live. I'm going to be starting to, I haven't done much in the summer, but I'm going to be starting because it's just the time of year when things are happening, and I'm doing a lot of new stuff this year. So yeah, My Conking Creations. And then you probably will get an invite for the VIP page. I don't at this point yet do anything specific for the VIP page, but I am planning on it. I'm not very computer savvy. So I will never do anything that you have to buy the video to buy something to watch it. That's not what I'm all about here. I'm fun employed. I love doing this, and I love showing everybody what I'm doing. So my videos will always be free. They'll always be posted on here, and I have a YouTube channel, and I will be downloading the video, posting it on there, and then adding, of course, where I got all the product, the SKU numbers, all that kind of stuff. Because when I started learning how to do wreaths was about 2018, I watched Damon Oaks at Deco Exchange, and he was on every single night. He never charged for his videos. And Julie's Wreath Boutique. Those two I have watched. And Lori, Unique at the Creek. Excuse me, I have watched them for years and years and years and years. And my grapevine wreaths, I love Jace at Total Decor. I think he is unfreaking believable as a designer. He's amazing. I love how he makes how he uses floral foam in his wreaths, where his bow and his greenery and everything goes, to give it a little more pizzazz and dimension on the wreath. I just love that idea. I do that all the time. See, we just keep going around filling in the, going in between where the ones on below are, and we just kind of make sure that they're long enough. And with the nice thing with using this, you can kind of pull it here and there, and it gets it in the right spot for you. And this stuff, you can buy it at the dollar store in a roll. It's like El Cheapo Depot. And you know, at the end, when it's all done, everything is fastened really well. You don't have to worry about anything falling apart. That's my biggest fear as a wreath maker, that I'm going to make something for somebody and it falls apart. Oh, I hope I have enough here. then I'm kind of wondering about the the tariff thing. See, we go across, and I usually bring back about $70 per person in the car. And I'm just hoping, how many do I have here? I think I only have 2 more rows, so that should be good. It's going to be really nip and tuck. So I have never had to pay duty on anything that I've brought home. I'm really careful when I'm shopping, like how much I spend. We don't buy any alcohol or cigarettes or anything. That seems to be what they're always concerned about. But, so I'm hoping. I actually think I'm going to buy a bunch of this taupe stuff. It's really nice to work with. I don't have any of it. I used everything that I had up. The box is getting empty. So this was 2.5 rolls, so I'm probably going to need 3.5 rolls. I'm going to buy 5 more rolls, so I'll have enough to do another one. Up here, I'm always really kind of making sure that I always try to make sure that I get really good coverage around the top, because that's what people are going to see, right? Always making sure you have enough mesh. We're so limited here in Canada where we can buy and what we can buy and price, and you know, if you're paying an exorbitant amount for it, it's really hard to sell it at a reasonable price, especially when there's so much time in these. But as a crafter, we all know we don't get our time. I got just enough. This back's naked, but that's okay. I'll get him covered up. And again, making sure that we have the front of the petal that we're putting it in so we get the best coverage. Now I got 3 left, and I think that's going to be just enough. Yep, that's going to work. So now what I'm going to do, I'll show you where I'm putting this. I'm going to attach this right so I'm going to be putting it right here. So it's going to be right up, so the end of the petal is actually going to be underneath. Oh, is that the right way? Yeah. It's going to be underneath the bow on his. And on the back one, what I'll do is we're going to have to on the back, when I put the back one on, we'll have to try to camouflage it somehow. I'm sure that I don't know how I'll do it, but. Come on, you. Probably the next one, when I do it, I won't put the head on till I'm finished. I want to put that through that, but I don't know how it's going to go. It's a little bit big. Get up there. Zip tie there. Just kind of stick it in one of those white things. I stuck it in one of the white things at the back. And I think what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue on it and it'll stay. I'm going to do it like I did the other one. Just attach it to this guy. And it will be behind the bow. You won't see it. Which way? This way. But probably putting the head on last would be better. I wanted to kind of show you guys how to do that. I think what I'm going to do with this. Put a zip tie on it, right up at the end. As opposed to an elastic. And I may fill in a little more up here too when I get more mesh. But this is going to give you an idea of what. I'm going to glue him in there. This just kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to be like. Oh, come on, you get in there. we're going to have to use our... It definitely would be easier if this stupid head wasn't on. Get in there. Down here. There we go. Okay, that kind of gives you an idea. Actually, as I said, it would be easier to put that top piece on if you didn't have the head on. So that might be something to think about when you do yours. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to put the mitts on. And let's see, where do we want those? I'm going to put them through. I'm going to have them, this one kind of be down. And I'm going to be zip tying them in. So that kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. And we want to make sure that we have this one about the same. Okay, and then we have our little guy here. I'll put him on this side. Put that through the, it's going to go through the, put this in first. He's going to be touched down here. Just going to put something in here to keep him stable. I'll do it around the, I'm going to do it around the wire of the come on. Come on. There we go. Come on in. hand over here. I'm holding this. And again, this is all whatever, however you want to do it, right? Put his thumb in there. Come on, get in there. Gives you an idea of how that's going to be. Okay, so now we've got these little guys. And I was thinking what we could maybe do. The end one. We could maybe put them around the bottom, and if you leave these long enough you could tie them. I'm just going to set these in here so you can kind of see. We'll just put them, we can just put them at the front. We'll dress it up just a little bit. Make sure I have it in the center. There. It dresses it up just a tiny little bit. So there's the end result. What I will be doing is putting another row around this because there's not enough up there. So I'm going to put another row up so it'll be more like full here and come right down. But it kind of gives you an idea of how you can finish it off. Again, tips, put the head on at the end and put all your mesh on and then put your head on. I think that would be the best thing. And then whatever you want to put on as your feature, make sure it's bright because the mesh is a little bit dull because it is like a gingerbread, right? So you need to have lots of red and sparkle. And I may even spray it. There is some sparkle on this, so I may even spray some sparkle on this when it's finished. But it is really, like, I think it is really, really, really cute. He is just a doll. So what I'll do is I'll take some time and get everything appropriate where it needs to be, and I'll pop a picture of it to you once I get it finished. But it's going to need just a few little tweakies, but these things really take a long time to do, and I'm really fussy about how they look. I'm really happy with this. I think that's going to give it the wow pizzazz that it needs because it is, the mesh is pretty dull. So get some sparkle. Might take the head off and put it back on again. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I had a lot of fun doing this, and everybody was just kind of wanting to know the basic bones. So that's the basic bones, and how you finish it, everybody has their own style, right? You guys, you know, everybody has some beautiful things. Some tips by putting these things on skewers and whatever, just makes it easier to stick it in, and you can put it where you want, and you're not gluing a whole bunch of stuff. You can zip tie it in, and then you don't get any glue on your mesh and it gets all messy, right? So anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for joining me. Please follow me on Facebook. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to be posting my YouTube link on my Facebook page as well once I get this posted. So you'll see what else is there. I've got a few other things that I've posted. I'm just really getting started with the YouTube thing. So check out that email or Facebook page. post about the prep on this, how I did everything, so that you've got that, and then away you go. Send me pictures if you make one. I would love to see it. See you later. Bye-bye.